Rukaya went to the market with some eggs. She first sold 4/5 of her eggs plus 4/5 of an egg to her neighbor without breaking an egg. Then she sold 4/5 of her remaining eggs plus 4/5 of an egg to her uncle, again without breaking an egg. She was left with one egg. How many eggs did Rukia have to begin with? We're going to look at a visual solution to this problem. Let me explain the picture. This represents the basket Rukaya had when she ran into her neighbor, and this represents the basket Rukaya had when she ran into her uncle after she was done selling eggs to her neighbor. So we are going to work backwards on this problem. According to the question, when Rukaya went to met her uncle, she sold 4/5 of all the eggs from her basket plus 4/5 of an egg. So, and after that she was left with, according to the question, one egg. So let's go over it once again. Rukaya sold 4/5 of her eggs from her basket to her uncle, then 4/5 of an egg from this little 1/5 portion, and she was left with one egg. So if we work backwards, we can conclude after she was done with her uncle, she had one egg, and if you put this 4/5 back, she had 1 plus 4/5 of an egg after she sold 4/5 of her basket. Now this is a little critical and a little difficult, but we really have to understand that. So the conclusion we are drawing is that this is 4/5. We really have to get that. Now our goal is to find the whole basket Rukaya had before she sold any of the eggs to her uncle, which really is 1/4 times 5. And I'm going to use a second color to do that. 1 and 4/5 represents 1 square, so 5 squares will represent this times 5, and we all know how to multiply two fractions, and the answer should be 9. You can do it the way you want. It's going to be 9. So the conclusion we draw is this, that Rukaya had 9 eggs after she was done selling eggs to her neighbor. Now let's go back and work on this second picture. I'm going to erase everything. However, we have to remember one thing, that after Rukaya was done selling eggs to her neighbor, she had 9 eggs in her basket. Okay. Just like before, we can conclude that after Rukaya sold 4/5 of all the eggs plus 4/5 of an egg, Rukaya had 9 eggs. So basically this represents 9 and 4/5. In other words, when Rukaya sold 4/5 of all the eggs in her basket to her neighbor, she must have had 9 plus 4/5 of an egg. So how do we find the total number of eggs Rukaya had in her basket before she sold any to her neighbor? All we need to do is multiply 9 4/5 by 5. And we all know how to multiply a fraction by a whole number. We get 49. So the conclusion is, well, I'm going to erase that. So let's go back and fix it. Okay, so the conclusion is Rukaya had 49 eggs in her basket when she left home, or before she sold any to her neighbor. So 49 is the final answer.